Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video! So today we're going to be talking about a topic that's a little bit more deep. I've been going through some health issues as previously mentioned by this video over here. I have been going through the ringer for the last month and a half, 2 months, depending on when this video comes out. I have been not having a good time in life, so that's why today's video is going to be called Survival and what you got to do sometimes to just make it through, and all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna get right into that. So I ended up making a video where I basically said, hey, I'm having some health issues and I'm struggling and stuff. Well, little did I know that my struggles were only beginning. And were they only beginning? Anyway, so what was going on was I was having what I thought were some pinched nerves. Turns out it was something more sinister than that. So what happened is that my partner came over down to my home state. We ended up hanging out for 4 or 5 days, and we stayed in a hotel. We went to go see movies, and we went to do all kinds of stuff. But during that time, I was having left arm numbness. I was having, and I developed during the time that they were here, leg numbness, which is usually not a good sign, but it came and went, so I figured, hey, I just have a pinched nerve or something. But when I was in a movie theater watching a movie with Daisy, which is her name, I ended up having complete right side leg numbness. I could hardly walk on it. So I ended up actually going outside the theater and walking it off and everything. And I have severe health anxiety, which makes everything so much worse. And it makes me want to research all kinds of stuff on Google, which, yes, I know Dr. Google is not a good thing or a resource to go get information from, but when you're going through stuff like that, it's kind of the only thing that I can rely on, sort of. I don't really know. So sciatica kind of runs in my family, so we already knew that. So I was like, okay, it's probably sciatica. I called my mom in a panic and everything. She said it's probably just sciatica, and it did get better. I started doing stretches and exercises for it, and I thought it was getting better oh yeah, and also I had to go on antibiotics because the other medical situation I was going through, so I was on that. We'll get back to that later. That has a huge part in this story. So my partner goes home, and we go our separate ways and everything, and I end up basically, my symptoms start getting worse and worse and worse. And I start having more leg numbness. It starts to spread to my left leg. It starts to really affect my day-to-day life. Now, mind you, I just took a week off of work to go hang out with my partner, which was paid time off. However, I also kind of live paycheck to paycheck, which we'll get to that in a minute. I ended up having these issues with my legs. I was having trouble walking. I was really not doing good. I was going and seeing a chiropractor to try to see if that would help. It didn't. I just tried to suffer with it for a while. It wasn't an emergency just yet. So I was trying to manage it and everything, trying to do all kinds of exercises and stretches, and it was just becoming a pain in the butt. And I was going through another health issue at the time. And then I have something that's going on with my legs that also threatens my job. Mind you, I just took a week off of work, and now I have to take even more time off that's not paid now, and I live paycheck to paycheck. So now I have worries that are compounding on top of each other. And before the CT scan, I thought I was going to be paraplegic. I thought I was going to lose function of my legs. While I was in the hospital bed, I was thinking, how am I going to do my job? How am I going to live life? How am I going to go through life like this if that's the case? I was getting ahead of myself. I was getting in my head, and it was a really rough time. But I also had my partners on my phone, being there for me, and it was a really hard time because this was my second stay at the hospital within 2 days. Three visits to the hospital within a year. I was in full-on survival mode. How do I get through this? How can I survive this? And there was so many unanswered questions because there was no fixing the problems just yet. And when you're down that low, you feel like you're just backed into a corner. So I was laying there in the hospital bed, and the one thing that came up is that I was actually thinking, what are some things that I have left? Mind you, full survival mode. I didn't know what my future was going to be like. I didn't know what the next steps were going to be. I was waiting on the doctors. I was waiting on the word from the radiologist. I was just thinking, what do I have left? I have my partners. I'm still here. I may have to have a major surgery or something, but I could probably still make it through that. It's going to be a long road, but the one thing that I wanted the most was actually go and play music. I was literally like laying in that hospital bed thinking, I really want to get back into making music, because I was like, I didn't know if I had much life left ahead of me, to be completely honest. Like, yeah, I know it's probably doom thinking was what I was going through, just like doom thinking. But look, when you're laying in a hospital bed and you don't know if you're going to have use of your legs, you start think about a lot of things. And you, in those moments, really have to take stock of what you have. And there is one good exercise that does help, and it's gratefulness exercises. Even if you're at rock bottom, you still have some things going for you. For me, I was still able to talk with my partners. For me, I still had YouTube to distract me a little bit. I still had the potential for me to go home at some point and be fine. I had the support of my parents, because I do live with my parents. They are homophobic and transphobic, even though they don't know that I'm trans yet. I don't think. But they're still there for me. I did have that going. So you really have to take stock of what you have and just grab a hold of anything and hold on to it for dear life, and try not to focus on the future too much, because even though I know it's impossible in a lot of situations, but you just ground yourself in the current moment. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. There's a lot of uncertainties, but I have these going for me right now. The future is in the future. I got right now. That's all I got. I got right now. And that's a tough thing to process, especially when mortality is in the mix. I'm not gonna lie, I thought my life was gonna be over. I thought there was gonna be no coming back from this. I thought I was gonna lose my job. I thought I was gonna lose the use of my legs potentially. I thought I was gonna lose a whole bunch of stuff. And there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on in my life that I'm trying to, I got a lot of stuff in my life that I want to accomplish, and a lot of stuff that I want to do. I want to get together with my partners one day soon. I want to be able to move to a blue state where I know I'm going to be safer than I am in this red state, because I am trans and I'm pansexual. So, eventually we got the scans back and everything. I just had the compressed nerves in my legs from my muscles that were easily fixable. And I walked out of the hospital just fine. But I had gone through so much stress and anxiety and also because of the antibiotics that I was on, they were aggressive antibiotics too. I ended up experiencing the worst acid reflux of my life. It was just literally issue after issue after issue after issue. And when the acid reflux came, I'm just like, why is this happening? So I had to do a whole bunch of research. I had to go back to my doctor. They had to up some of my meds, and they had to basically manage my symptoms. But even when that was all said and done, I had one night where I thought I was going to have to go back to the hospital again, because my acid reflux had reached a level I had never experienced in my whole life. I felt like I was having a hole burnt through my esophagus one night. The only thing that saved me from that is luckily baking soda. If you have acid reflux and it's that bad, baking soda is going to be your friend for a little bit. 1 step forward, 2 steps back is what this whole last month has been. And luckily, I am recovering from all of that. I'm recovering from all of it. Still having issues with my first health issue. I'm still sorting that out, and I don't really want to talk about it. But you take one day at a time. And I have been dealing with mortality a lot lately. And honestly, when you're in survival mode like that, you honestly just grasp every day that you can. You try to enjoy every moment that you get, because honestly, when you get to that point, you don't know what day is going to be, your last. You don't know how much you're going to be able to get through. You don't know if you're going to be in excruciating pain the next day, or if you're going to be debilitated the next day. Anything could go wrong. Anything can go wrong. But when it comes down to this, you just have to ground yourself in the moment right now. Let's say if you're sitting in bed right now, you're having severe anxiety. You want to ground yourself in the moment right now and be like, I'm okay. Nothing's happening right now. I'm okay in this moment. And there's a lot of anxiety relief exercises you can find on YouTube that can help a lot. but it can be hard to relax when you're going through this. And I really do think that I have actually gained some trauma from this whole experience, because it was a horrible experience. Everything I've gone through, it was a horrifying experience. Everything that I had was being taken away from me. I could have lost my job, which I'm in a very precarious situation right now financially, and I have the medical bills. What am I supposed to do about those? There's even now, after everything is done, there is still so many unknowns. What I have right now is this camera in front of me. I have you watching right now, and I have a message that I want to give to y'all, which is, even when you're going through the worst time, there can still be a tomorrow. But what you have is right now. And that you have to be grateful for all the small little things in life. And you really got to grab a hold of those and hold them to your heart as hard as you can. Because that's what's going to get you through all of this. That's what will get you through a lot of traumatic events, especially medical stuff. You just got to take what little you have left and just hold it close and hold it tight, and try not to think about the future too much. Just focus on right now. Focus on your choices right there in that moment. Or if you need to, distract yourself from it completely. We have a lot of tools for distraction. YouTube is one of them. Games are another one of them. You take things day by day. You take things hour by hour, minute by minute. You don't think about the future. You just think about the present. You just sit in the moment. At least that's what's helped me in my experience. Now, as far as me personally, I don't know what my future's going to look like. I have no idea. I have a lot of struggles that are ahead of me. I still have medical stuff that I have to go and take care of. I'm still going through the medical system. And it's still there's still probably going to be some pain. There's still probably going to be a lot of misfortune in the future. But what I'm focusing on is right now. What I have. That's why I wanted to get back to making YouTube videos. I don't know how many I'll be able to make. Life is completely uncertain for me right now. I have a lot of responsibilities that I have to take care of. My life comes first before this YouTube channel, which is why I had to take so long away from the YouTube channel, because I had to physically and mentally recover from everything that I went through. There was a lot of nights. There was so many nights where I spent just crying and bawling my eyes out, and not knowing what my future was going to be like. I had no idea, I didn't know what there was for me in the world anymore. I had to go through all of that, and it took a lot, But I'm okay now, somewhat. I am trying to get my life back together, slowly but surely. Definitely got to get past tax season. I hate tax season. I hate tax season. Bleh. Freaking taxes suck. But anyway, I hope this video helped you out, or at least told you what's been going on. And I like to share my own stories on here too. So that's what's been going on for the last almost 2 months now. And I do want to start getting back to making YouTube videos now that my life is kind of leveled out a bit. I'm hoping to talk about some more interesting topics. I know after this video, I'm going to try to come up with more topics to talk about. And yeah. I'm glad to see y'all here again. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, because I love talking with y'all. And also, this is not me trying to farm for sympathy or anything. It's just I try to make my experiences into a empowering story, or at least a helpful story in some way, shape, or form. The last recording that I did of this was completely a downer. And I mean, I have every right to be down about my experiences. They were traumatic. They were straight up traumatic. But that's not going to help anybody. That's not going to help me. That's not going to help anybody else. It's best if I talk about something that's actually helpful, like survival. What do you do in survival? You just take things day by day. You try to grasp onto every little thing you can and hold it close. Sometimes that's all you got. And I know there's people who have been through way worse than I have. Far, far worse than what I've been through. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that these experiences were still traumatic. But I want to make something out of it. So anyway, I'm going to end the video here. I've rambled a bunch. I hope this video has been helpful to you or anybody out there. And you know what time it is. Hey, go hydrate. Take a shower. Brush your teeth. Go take care of yourself, okay? And enjoy the moments that you have, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. So enjoy it right now, okay? Go do it. Go do something. Go outside. Take care of yourself. Go exercise. Ah, bye.